I've talked about bending this cover out of plexiglass in a previous video, and then I came back and said that I wasn't going to do that. That goes on my controller here. But once I get an idea in my head, I just can't leave it alone, and even though I'm not going to make one for this project, I thought it would be nice to learn how to bend that stuff. So I gathered some pieces together and thought I'd make a jig and try my own testing. If you go on the internet, there's tons of guys using brakes and flame and heating wires and toasters and all kinds of crazy stuff. Anyway, unless I get into it myself, I'm not going to know just how easy or hard it is. So I've decided to make the simplest thing first, which is just a hot wire bed that will go in this slot. This is just scrap wood that I'm starting with. This is the only thing that I think I'll need is nichrome wire, and that's what I'm going to set down in that groove. Now this is nothing new. Like I said, other guys are doing this on the internet, and that's what gave me the idea. So I'm not going to reinvent the wheel, but when it comes time to making some sort of a brake or jig to keep the bends more accurate, that's where the experimentation will probably come in. Anyway, let's see if I can get some kind of a heating bed together. Other people that I've seen make this heating bed are using aluminum U-channel, and I don't have any of that. I've got the angle stuff, but I've got another idea. It might be simpler yet. I was trying to think of a material that I could use to protect the wood from the heating element from the heat, you know. And I thought about this stuff. This is aluminum tape. So I thought I'd do a little test here and see how it performs with heat. I'm just going to put a piece on this scrap wood here. And heat it up. Open flame. It is making it bubble up a little bit, but we're at 200 degrees according to this. It cools down quite rapidly. I seen 250. That might just be because I'm measuring the flame. But it seems pretty resistant. Yep. Let's peel the tape off and see what's under it. So it looks like it messed with the glue a little bit, but other than that, the wood is warm but not hot. I think this will work just fine, maybe 2 layers of it. It's not going to have a direct flame like this test, so I think it'll work just fine for protecting the wood around the heating element. And it will be easy to shape too. Yep. I believe I'll use this to start with the base. This is 19 by 17. So that's the size it'll be, because that's the size of the wood that I have. And the bender's even going to be smaller. I've got a couple scraps of MDF here. This is 1/2 inch. And when I put them together on this board, it leaves about the width of the slot that I was thinking about. So I'm going to trim these down to 17. We'll go 17. I got thinking about it. Maybe I will make this thing hinge. Kind of like a little break. And I'll use the width of like a pencil. Oh, she's a beauty. I think that'll work just fine, yep. Going to use this single bladed screw for a guide for the wire on each side. So I'll put one here and one here, hopefully. And then we'll use this eye hook for the anchor for this side for the wire. Behold the Bend-O-Matic 1000. Yeah, it's a little crude, but I think she just might work. So I ended up making sort of a break, you know. I said I wouldn't, but I ended up doing that. And there's the spring there. That should work. 'Cause this wire actually grows about a 1/4 inch, actually, when it's heated up, so you need something to take up that slack. She's tight. And I'm using these screws to guide the wire. Again, this is all stuff that I've seen other guys do. This is nothing that I've invented, so I'm not taking any credit for this at all. I just want to recreate it and see if I can get some good bends. And then the head of my screws goes in these holes here. You know, so there's no interference there. And if need be, I can put another clamp up here or just a big piece of wood, but yeah. So, what am I going to power this with? Behold, an old battery charger. 12 volt, 55 amp. That should light her up. So let's plug her in and give her a try and see what happens. What could possibly happen? On this one, rather than just put it on the spring, I have a piece of the lead sticking out here, so we're going to go with that. There we go. Yikes. Time to plug it in. So we're plugged in, and immediately I smell a little burning smell. We're 12 volt, 2 amp. Let's crank her up. That's 12 volt, 10 amp. Still not glowing. It's going to take quite a bit to get that thing to glow. Yeah, it might be a little bit, yeah. Alright, let's go for broke. Let's go for the 55 amp. That didn't sound good, did it? We getting any glowing yet? Yep. Yeah, I think it's starting to glow now. Yep. Okay, I unplugged it. I'm going to plug it in and watch this spring, how much it takes up. See that pulling? That's a good 1/4 inch. I put a little piece of that rug gripper stuff, you know. I glued it onto this brake bar or holder or whatever you want to call it. Maybe 200 degrees Fahrenheit down in there. Maybe. Let's get some plastic and see what happens. So let's do a practice run with this stuff. Let's try to do a precision bend here. I'm going to mark it 2 inches down on each end. Okay, I've got 2 little marks on the end there. I'm going to try a bend 2 inches in. So this isn't real super thick. This is maybe an 1/8 inch thick, something like that. I don't expect I'm going to be able to bend too thick of material. I'm just not getting the heat out of it that I'd hoped. Need more amperage. Amperage, Scotty. And some wing nuts for that might be nice too, you know, little wingy. There we go. Time to plug her in. Here we go. So I've got the little mark that I made on the plastic right over, as I'm looking down, right over the heating element. I thought about putting it right in line with this wood, but I think it would be better if it was right in the middle of that crack. So again, it's right on the heating element itself. And I'm just going to kind of monitor this, and when I think it's ready, I'm going to go for it. And I've been told too that when you bend it, you need to actually go past 90 because it will have a little bit of spring back. So for that, I'll just use this when the time comes. So the heating element is red. It's not glowing red. Again, I need more amperage or volts. And I chose to do this with DC power. You could do this with AC power, but in my mind it's more dangerous. With this, you know, I can touch the leads and not get hurt. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing it this way. So we'll just wait a few minutes here. It's kind of hard to measure plastic because, you know, you're looking down through it. So is this accurate? I don't know. Let's lift it up here and see if it's giving any. Yeah, feels like it wants to go, guys. Should I go for it? Yeah, why not? Let's go for it. A little past 90. We'll just hold her up there for just a minute. Actually, I think I need to unplug this, don't I? Let it cool. That's the thing, it's going to take a little bit of experimentation to figure out how far past 90 I have to go with that spring back, you know. Let's let her down and see what I have here. Look at there, guys. Wow. Looks like we might actually have something here. And that does look like a 90 too. Wow, look at that. And it's right on my dots too. You can see my little line there. It doesn't look discolored or bubbled or anything. I thought it might, but it doesn't. There's the other side of it there. That radius is right on that Sharpie mark. Wow. I'm pretty impressed with that, guys. We'll see how close it is. Kind of hard to tell with that, but close enough for me. I mean, it's plastic. I'm just going 2 inches for giggles, no reason. Yeah, I was pretty happy with the way that bent right on that seam there. It did exactly what I expected, so that's good. This opens up a lot of possibilities for future projects. You can make a lot of neat little things with bent plexiglass. Even the thin stuff. I don't think I would bend very thick stuff on this. If I was to bend like 1/4 inch or something like that, like some had said in the comments of the other video, you may have to V-groove it, you know, score it with a router or something like that. And what I could do is actually cut the pieces out in my CNC router and then use a V-bit to score it if I wanted to bend thicker stuff. But I could see where you could make some really neat looking equipment cases or just decorative type pieces using this. Yeah, this I think is really going to open up some possibilities for making new things. Really do. I like trying different materials, and I've always liked plexiglass, but you know, how do you attach it? I've always done it with the aluminum and holes and, you know, riveting together, but this is a whole new thing for me. And now that I know I can do a pretty accurate bend, I mean, I'm sure I can't get it to the 16th, but I can bend things to the 1/8 inch at least, and with practice better. And if you consider the radius and all that stuff, I don't see any reason why you can't make some really neat projects with this. I don't know yet what the trick is to how long to let this sit. I know you have to let it sit for at least a minute or two. That's why I'm yakking on here, but you don't want to go too soon. I'm pretty sure of that. But the nice thing about this bender and the 50 amps with the 12 volts, I'm finding it doesn't get so hot that you know you have to do something or it's going to burn your work. I mean, there's no rush in using it. And certainly if you let it set for another minute, it's not going to discolor or bubble up your plastic. It just heats it very slowly, you know. So that's probably a good thing, actually. Although I think I could use a little bit more amperage if I had like 75. This is a, what, 55 amp, 12 volt. Maybe 70, 75 amps would be a little bit better. Let's play with this and see if it's ready to go. Yep, I think she's ready. It feels ready. Let's do it. Man, that is so easy to bend that. It's ridiculous. So unplug it. I think I'm going to need a button or a foot switch or something. Right in there. Just a little bit past 90. Alright, see what I have. That's great. Look at that. Stuck down to that a little bit, probably because of the hot glue I used on that. Look at that though. Still a little bit warm. This is the one I just did. I just can't get over that. And this is similar to the case that I was thinking about bending for that CNC cover. I don't think I'm going to do that though, because I think I'm just going to leave it alone. But looks like I might have gone too far on this one now that I'm looking at it. It looks a little bent, doesn't it? Yeah. But yeah, guys, it is possible. So there you go. Again, I didn't invent this stuff. I'm just doing what I've seen other guys do, and it works. It really works without much effort at all. I've got about a foot of usable wire here, and it takes about 12 volt and 50 amp, just so you get an idea, with nichrome wire. So thanks for watching. Leave me your comments. Let me know what you think I should do with this machine now that I've got it built. And what features or what would you do differently to improve on this idea. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us one of these, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.